Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports here with myself, Charlie. From wonderful video stats, please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Now, I think I finally just about caught up on sleep after last night's boxing marathon. It started off with boxer and matchroom. I've done a video talk about that. I think I'll probably touch on it again because it was very brief last night. And then we had the ring show. We also had Xander Zayas versus Abbas Barrow, which was a cracking fight. I've got to be honest with you, I've watched the highlights of that this morning, or watched the fight this morning, I should say, rather. But yeah, a brilliant fight that looked down in Puerto Rico. So much to talk about, so many talking points. So here we go. Let's go. First things first, Jarrell Miller. Yeah, what more could be said that hasn't already been said? Hair today, gone tomorrow, or whatever else. Think of another witty. I can't think of something original, to be honest. There's been that many doing the rounds on social media that about his toupee, his little wig that went run away. All in all, taken away from that, I know Matchroom put it as their caption. I think he won by a hair. He did. Didn't look great again. The thing with Jarrell Miller is, I think he talks the talk, and that's why people will always give him fights, but he doesn't always walk the walk, and last night was no different. I thought he was lucky a little bit last night. Did he do enough? Yeah, but the other guy, Kingsley Abe, he showed he was on the same level, and I think perhaps Miller's been saved by the fact his wig went run away, that it actually overlooked what was quite a poor performance. I think if he was in there with any of the top 10, because I don't put him in the top 10 myself, I think if he was in there with any of the top 10, he'd have been beat quite a bit easily. But the less about him, the better. Bruce Carrington, that's a KO of the year contender. He is another future star of US boxing. What a fantastic knockout it was over Castro. Just beautiful combinations. That featherweight division is... We've obviously got Nick Bull. He's fighting next week. Could we get that fight on? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I would quite like to see that. Or there's other fights out there, obviously, for him. He's spoken about those other fights, but I think there's a few for Bruce Carrington. He's a good young fighter who deserves a lot of credit. Keyshawn Davis, a lot of people said he did to Jermaine Ortiz what not many others have done, and he got the stoppage which he deserved. Called out Devin Haney after. That's a fight I'd like to see. There's a few fights actually coming out last night that I would like to see, and that is certainly one. Maybe Keyshawn Dalton. Who knows? Let's maybe see. I know that him and Shakur won't ever fight, or it doesn't look like they will unless things go really messy in that camp. So it doesn't look like we're going to get that fight, which, listen, it's understandable. They probably see themselves like brothers. There's, like I said, that 140 division is stacked though. There's a lot of good fighters in there, and I think for Keyshawn, he should be taking aim at quite a few of them. He's had a few problems outside the ring. We know that. He's had his critics. I think I've probably personally been one of those critics at times, but do you know what? It was an elite performance last night, and firmly, I think, puts him in the mix in and around that division. And talking of elite performances, Shakur. What could be said that hasn't already been said? I think I said on my preview that I thought he was going to be the next, maybe Floyd Mayweather. I think it's a big mantle to pass on to someone, but I think he is the next all-time great. He is the future. I'd love to see him versus Devin Haney, but I don't know how that fight gets made and at what weight class, because Shakur would probably want to put in a rehydration clause. Devin is big. He walks around at a big weight. We know that. Everyone knows that. But I'd love to see that fight. I think that fight would be brilliant. I mean, there's not a lot else. I didn't like the Conor Benn call out afterwards. What's the point? Conor Benn's never won an area title. I don't get how, and I sound like a hater when I say this, I don't get how Conor Benn is getting himself in these discussions. That's my problem. I don't get how he's getting himself in these discussions, because he's never won an area title. He beat a weight-trained Chris Eubank Jr. That's his biggest win. He lost the first fight. So how on earth he's got himself in these discussions? I mean, I know he beat Chris Algieri a few years ago, but that was when there was question marks over his doping. Listen, last night wasn't about Conor Benn. I'm going off on a tangent. A good win for Shakur. In fact, a good win. I don't know what I'm on about. A great win, a masterclass. He completely boxed Teofimo's head off. Teo's corner work was questionable last night by his dad. I've said before on this channel, I don't know when it would have been, Not always a fan of father-son training combinations, and I'm still not after last night. Sort of just saying, well, why don't you hit him? Well, tell him how to hit him. And the truth is, there wasn't a way, because Shakur was just putting on a masterclass. He stayed in the pocket as well, which, for all the critics, everyone always says, oh, he's a runner, he's a track athlete, he's a runner. We didn't run last night. He stayed in the pocket, but it was just getting in and out of range. Just a masterclass. Teo had no answers to him. That jab from Shakur as well, dictating the fight, was absolutely beautiful. There's nothing else that can be said that hasn't already been said by others, apart from that. It for me puts him firmly in the pound for pound discussion. With Crawford going, does he then become top 3? For me, maybe. He's a 4-weight world champion. Like, that's crazy. And you look at his record, he's got some good names on there. He's got some really good names on there. Teo, obviously Oscar Valdez down at super featherweight or featherweight, if that was right. Jamel Herring, who he beat. For the life of me, can't remember the guy who he beat from Golden Boy. William Zepeda. Of course it is. Sorry, that was really annoying. That when you just get stuck on something, you can't remember the guy's name. That was what was annoying me. The Golden Boy lightweight. He beat him convincingly. Yeah, there's nothing else that can be described apart from just a fantastic fighter. And listen, he's never going to knock people out with one punch. But what he is going to do is, for purists, you got to just enjoy it while you can, because these guys, they come along, and when they're gone, then we realise, sort of miss them. And he is one of them. He took on Teo. He didn't have to. He went up in weight. He didn't have to. And there's big fights out there. I think, Muratala next. I'd like that fight. That's a good fight. Super lightweight, as I've already said in the context of Keyshawn, is stacked. If Shakur goes up, he can't keep going up without putting in rehydration clauses. But I hate this as well in boxing, and I'm guilty of it, when everyone just goes, oh, what's next? What's next? What's next? Well, actually, sometimes you just got to enjoy the performance what it is. And what a way to start the year with a great card in America. Some of America's top young fighters. The future of boxing, we've written it off in America, but actually it looks very bright for me at the moment, stateside. As always, guys, let us know what you think. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. Have a great day.